don't know if you acknowledge it or see it, but you're not responsive right now. You touch base on the thing. You made a comment about the thing that I was trying to tell you, which makes absolutely no sense. It's like, I know all of that, and I'm the one trying to tell you why I did what I did. I don't need you to confirm it. I already did it. That's all quiet stuff you can say to yourself. Really, the more important issue, the thing that you should be vocalizing, is on what you want from me. And then saying that. Because my attitude is, if you think you can do this better alone, then I think you should. And it seems like that's what you're trying to tell me. That's not what you're trying to tell me, then what are you trying to tell me? What do you want from me?
I don't know.
That's a problem.
Easier to listen because I hadn't had the chance to.
Well, I'm up here. I don't want to be rude, but I've asked you like a lot of times to make eye contact with me when we're talking about something that's important. It helps me want to be patient. It helps me want to take into consideration that you're part of the moment. It helps me feel connected to you. It's part of the healing process. And it's part of the healing process that we neglect horribly. And it's very unfair to me.
I feel like it goes both ways.
But we're not talking about what I do. We're not talking about what I do. That's fine. We're not talking about what I do.
No. Not talking about it.
So I'm not asking you about both ways. I'm asking you what it is that you expect from me.
I know.
So instead of trying to hedge your bets, which is what you're doing, you're trying to cover all the bases right now. You're trying to make sure that you don't step on my toes or try to admit that some of the things that you want from me aren't fair, right? No. What do you want? Tell me that first, then you can qualify it.
No, I already said I don't know.
So then there's nothing to talk about. If you don't know, you don't know. Figure it out, get back to me. In the meantime, I'd like to move out. That way you don't have pressure and you don't have me in your life to be able to persuade you one way or another. You can figure that out on your own. In the meantime, I feel dragged down by your indecisiveness.
I know.
I don't think it's fair.
Neither do I.
So then maybe we should do something else. Should I just keep perpetuating unfairness and looking elsewhere and then telling yourself, oh, woe is me.
I'm not.
No, you just don't realize that you are.
No, I know that I'm not.
Okay.
But it's like I know that I've gone through, when I've tried to answer it myself before.
Kat, you're trying to qualify.
What is it? Thank you.
backwards and giving him children's ibuprofen.
Yeah, so you need that too.
I asked which one he wanted, and he said he wanted the medicine.
If the syringe isn't there, the little
Right here.
measuring is on the side of the drainer. On the black by the utensils, or no, on the black piece by the utensils.
I can't hear a word you're saying. To the point, you can bubble.
Okay.
No, there's no reason for me to. Yeah, it does. Really responsible. Yeah, but that's the police for that reason.
We were taking it back. You don't want to move it from a place you picked from it, so if you consider it responsible, don't put it there.
Minutes. We have been looking for something to start. We're not gonna watch all of it.
Alright, 24.
We don't know what's going on, and I have to spend some time with them where I'm not around. So, what's going on? I'm really relying on you to deal with things. Oh my god. I said I'm really relying on you to deal with things now. We're out of time to talk about our feelings and to talk about what's going on in our relationship. That's something that has to be reserved for a fucking therapist, somebody more accredited to the ability to be able to deal with it better. It should be obvious right now.
Yes, it was always before.
So, what do you expect from me so I know whether or not I want to be around? If you don't know what to expect from me, then I think that I shouldn't be around because I don't think that's fair. Now that we're in trying circumstances, extenuating circumstances, I think it's very important that I know where we sit in a relationship. And if you don't know, I think that it's time for me to move forward. I think that if you have to spend this much time thinking about it, it's time for me to move forward. I think that if you don't know what you're asking of me, then I don't think you ever know what you've been asking of me and what I've been doing for you. And I think that you are taking advantage of me and being unfair right now by not dealing with this in a more assertive way. So I feel like we're just going around in circles. And you're still not making eye contact, maintaining eye contact. You're still not talking, you're still not sharing your feelings, you're still not telling me what's going on in your head. So I gotta tell you, like, I don't know what you want, it's not fair, so.
I know I expected of you, but like it's.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. We're talking about now, what do you expect from me now?
With everything.
We're not talking about the past, we're talking about now.
No, I know, I was just gonna ask you if you mean.
I'm saying, what do you expect from me from this point till the day that we die? What do you want from me?
It's not what I thought you were asking.
Very clear. So, I'm going to check on them, and then I'll be back and hopefully we'll know. What you're doing is a level of melodrama. I walked back in the room, I'm sitting right here. Instead of like sinking into yourself further, or putting on poses and all of that, I really just need you to be vulnerable and deal with the fact that the rest of that doesn't matter right now, and that I'm talking to you, and that should actually matter. Because if you can't be responsive right now, then I really just don't want to do this, and I want to just pack up and go. But you not saying anything and looking at me is you exactly doing the things that are unfair. I thought I was clear about that. But I'm not down there, I'm right here.
Yes, I know.
Then why are you still doing the thing that's unfair that I've asked you not to do?
Slipping down while
No, I asked, why are you still doing the thing that's
I'm not
unfair?
slipping down
But
while
you keep doing it. You've done it a lot of times in this conversation alone, and you're not acknowledging it, and you almost never acknowledge that you do it. But you evade eye contact from the eye all the time. It's a childish way of not dealing with things.
Same thing.
It is specifically as a childish way when I've asked you to not do it. Are you not capable of controlling your own behavior? If you're capable of controlling your own behavior like adults do, then you should be able to make sure that you remember to maintain eye contact with me. It's something that I've specifically asked. I think it's important, and most therapists will tell you the same thing. And you can't give me any good reason why it's not useful, why it's not helpful, but we do know there are studies that show that it helps relationships. And you don't do it, and you're not actively doing it, and it's why I don't want to be around. Because you don't treat me fairly, and it's one of the ways that you don't treat me fairly. If I've asked you not to do it, then is it fair? Is it fair to keep doing it to me if I've asked you not to do it? Shutting down and closing off, clicking your little fingers, that's not you dealing with the situation. I'm calmly asking you to acknowledge that can you not do that? That's really disturbing. Don't be sorry, just don't do it. And please think of not doing other things like that that would also be disturbing because it detracts. I don't think the lint on your knee is nearly as important as what I'm asking. I'm asking you, if I've made it clear that I find it disrespectful, please don't do it. And it's something as simple as making eye contact with me, and you're not actively trying to more thoroughly, then you're not being fair. True or untrue?
Sure. Wait.
I have no other choice. I wish I did. I wouldn't. So you're not responding, you're not being assertive. You made a clear question, I asked you to create.
Yes, you have to do it. I think trying to come up with, well, not come up with, trying to figure out why.
If I've asked you not to avoid eye contact and to go to better lengths to maintain eye contact, and you don't try to do that with any real awareness, is that fair?
I do.
I didn't ask you that.
You said if I don't.
I
so
said
don't
if.
have to do it.
You're right, I said if. So I'm asking you to say, well, if there is a possibility. You don't do it enough. You failed completely and miserably at that one task. I am horribly disappointed in you for not actually acknowledging what I was asking and not doing it more thoroughly. So if you think you do it enough, I'm telling you you don't, and I don't want to be in this relationship, so we don't have to argue. I'm telling you it's not enough for me. If you think it's enough for you, then fine, then you go have somebody else to date. Find somebody else that's going to take better care of the children. Because I've asked you to do these things, and you don't do them, not to the standard that I consider to be enough. Yeah. If you want to sit down and discuss that, then you should have brought that up at a different time, and you didn't. You want to talk about what enough is, then you should have discussed that. And that's not what we're doing. We're talking about, can you not interrupt? Can you not interrupt? Can you control yourself? I have to know. I don't want to even bother talking if you can't. Doesn't seem like you can. But then you're not doing it. You're not doing it. And you've made it clear you don't want me to interrupt you, and I didn't pause for any length of time. There was no opportunity to start interjecting. I'm not asking you questions. When I ask you questions, you go stone cold with you shut down and you look somewhere else. I've asked you not to do that. You still do it. And now you're denying it. You say, well, I do it enough. Not enough for me. So go find somebody else that that's enough for. If you think you do it enough, and I'm outrageous, and I expect too much, and I want too much in this relationship, then fine, then let me go. When I say let me go, I mean do it the healthy way, the way that I deserve. Do it to a way that where you're actually providing me with an alternative living situation besides fucking homelessness. That's the respectful thing to do, considering all that I've done. If you can't acknowledge that, then again, we don't really need to talk, and I just need to pack. I don't have to feel bad about any of this, and I can walk away.
Something that I have acknowledged, and I told you I just too much.
Right, but you're also not acknowledging that you do not make eye contact and maintain eye contact with me enough in conversation.
I have.
No, you think you have, and that's your opinion, and I'm saying my opinion is that you haven't. So unless you can do it better to my standard, and I'm sorry.
I have acknowledged it.
So is that what you're doing now?
What?
I said, is that what you are doing now?
Which one?
Acknowledging it? Admitting that you're not being fair? Admitting that I've made it a paramount thing and that I expect better from you than this? Are you really acknowledging that you haven't done that? That's what you're acknowledging, that I've been begging you to make eye contact and maintain eye contact, even specifically under stressful situations.
Yeah.
So right now you're doing it, right? Now right now you're staying focused, but you're also biting your tongue and getting mad at me because you want me to notice that you're doing it at this moment, but you didn't do it earlier, and that you were literally avoiding eye contact, and I have an hour and a half video of you avoiding eye contact and going introverted and not acknowledging that I'm talking to you.
No.
You don't admit that that happened? That's fine, then I guess we don't need to talk.
No.
Well, then let's watch that video. That's what I think that we need to do. If you can't do that, then I don't really think that there's anything to ask me right now. I think if you can't watch what you did.
And you're not doing their asking their reacting to their anything. Not good.
You're not making sense.
You're not either.
No, I am.
No, you said it.
Listen, you know what? If you don't think that I'm making sense, then let's stop here. I disagree with you, and I think I'm being very clear, and I think I'm being very patient, and I think I've been very understanding. So if you don't think I'm making sense, then I think that we should stop now.
You're responding to the wrong thing.
No, I'm not responding to the wrong thing. I'm trying to get you to acknowledge that you have been very inconsiderate, and that I've asked you to not do this anymore, and you still do it. And you're still being inconsiderate. Just at this moment, you acknowledged it, so you're trying to catch yourself and go out of your way to keep eye contact. That's what I've always asked you to do, and it's not what you always do. Not to mention, I have an hour and a half long video of you doing it and ignoring the fuck out of me, and you don't want to look at it. And I think unless you're willing to acknowledge what you're doing, I don't think we can get anywhere.
But again, I already have and I already did, so you're asking me.
So then let's watch the video together.
Because
then I will know what you're acknowledging, what you're admitting to. I will know that you've seen it, that you can't deny it, because it's there. Because it should hurt you, because it's hurt me. And it's unfair for you to just put that all off on me and not acknowledge that you did it. An hour and a half? It's insane. It's not fair. It's not healthy. It's not the way adults deal with things. It's not the way someone that loves someone shows them that they love them. And I was calm. I was patient. Up until the point where I made you stand up and then backed away from you so I could show you that you were completely out of it. You couldn't even stand up straight.
what's that called?
No, you couldn't, and it's on the video, but fine, you can argue with me, but you don't know what you're even arguing. Fine, then hey, you know what? Best of luck with you. This is what I'm telling you. This is the contingency. This is the requirement. Either you accept and admit to the fact that you have not been totally conscious and you've been treating me poorly,
or it's time for me to move. With or without your help. It's not an ultimatum. It's not my way or the highway. It's me saying clearly that unless I come to some common ground and I know you're dealing with reality, I don't want to do this. Most people aren't this resistant to watching themselves. If they're in complete disagreement that what I'm saying happened, then most people aren't this resistant. It's not a natural resistance. It's an abnormal resistance. Taoists protest too much. It sounds funny. It's fucked up. Like that statement is in Shakespeare because it points out that humans have a tendency to do things that don't make a lot of sense. Like you're getting way too excited and way too upset over something that shouldn't be a big deal if it really isn't. If it's not true, then you don't have to worry about it. And you can deal with watching a video of yourself. Because you know, you're confident, like, well, yeah, all right, I'll watch it. And we'll see the way I behave. But staring at me is not assertively dealing with things. Not responding is not assertively dealing with things. So would you like to watch the video, or did you know what you wanted from me? Or were you willing to admit to any of the things that you've been unfair with so that I know that at least you're conscious of them so that you're less inclined to keep committing those same acts of unfairness? If not, then I think that I'd be agreeing to something that's not true. That's all logical. I mean, I was very clear in what I've been saying this entire time.
I thought that I already did. I thought it was when you mentioned them in the first place, so I'm not sure what you're asking right now.
I am sorry. I thought I had already asked you a lot of things, and now it seems like you're changing your topic. But pardon me?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the last one you noticed I was you asked if I was willing to admit to all the things that I am doing.
So, and I feel that part of that for me is watching the video with me.
You have mentioned that separately.
I know I'm mentioning it now. I'm saying that I'm putting the two of those together. I think that the only way that I can really know that you're willing to acknowledge the things that I saw you do in that video, the only way that I can know for certain right now that you're actually admitting to specific things, because those are the things that are unfair, then I don't know what you're agreeing to. But thankfully we have a video so we can watch that and we can talk about it. You gonna check the time because that's more important?
I'm checking the time because I'm trying to figure out how.
Because you have other priorities and you don't think that this is important. You think it's a waste of time. You think you're placating me and you don't want to spend the time doing that. Because if it was important, you would acknowledge that this preempts everything else. Because if you can't deal with this, if you can't acknowledge that this is happening, well then you're alone in this. And you have to deal with this on your own the best that you see fit. It's not an ultimatum, it's just the truth. My prerequisite for trusting you at this point is getting you to admit that you have behaved unfairly, specifically getting you to admit how you've behaved unfairly. If you can't recognize that, then I don't believe you really see it. If you're not willing to talk about it, if you're not willing to play a video and acknowledge which parts of that video are true and what parts are a lie, I don't know what to tell you. It's a bad choice of words. I made a mistake, but thank you. Because all I'm saying is that it is uncontestable. So instead of debating with me about what my opinion is, let's talk about the video, what's going on in the video. But you're going to say that that portion of the video is out of text or out of context. So what? When is it appropriate to treat a human being like that? Especially if you say that you love them. Especially if you say you want to be fair. Is it love? shutting down and not making eye contact and not acknowledging that they're talking to you? It's love? I'm asking you. Do you think that what you did for an hour and a half was love?
We're talking about Saturday morning.
No, you don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, actually we are. Yeah. In between the hours of whatever, 2 and 4. What did you write? Why the fuck are we still here at 4 at night? Rehashing this from a flawed perspective with the... I think you read intentionally kind of crappy so that other people can't read it.
No,
Can't
I
read it.
don't.
Whatever. Okay. Well, this doesn't make a lot of sense. And I think that it's...
Where is that from?
I don't know. Doesn't really matter. There's no fucking truth in it.